juniors were true. For Michael Cullen, who again takes pole, it's a chance to have a celebration one in his home city, as he has already won the Fiat Uno Cup.
The man who had the best start there was Griffin on the outside of the front row, but unfortunately not the quickest line, and Cullen nips into the corner there, followed by Ed O'Connor and Dave Maguire in the yellow. We're inside with Michael Barable as we go down the back straight, Phoenix Park Circuit, like a triangle, and all three straights are a different length. And you can see now Fitzgerald's car there in front of Michael Leonard's car. That is mounted on the front wing of the car, so we have two different types of cameras. One on the inside, Cullen coming down to this very tight Furry Glen bend, which is much like the Ratra on the old circuit. And again, Barable just getting in, and that again, everybody, both camera cars getting in the wars there, Alan.
Well, it was expected at Furry Glen, and it certainly happened. So we're now travelling along, you might say, at high speed on the bonnet of Michael Leonard's car. We've now moved inside to Michael Barable's car as we go up this frightening tunnel of trees up towards Mountjoy Corner, and here come the leaders.
The leader, it is Michael Cullen from Stephen Griffin. This is one of the quickest corners on the circuit, the Dublin corner and the Furry Glen, very tight indeed. But Michael Leonard just leaving his braking very late, and you can see the adverse camera there which shows you out towards the grass. But that's O'Connell in front of him as they head for Dublin corner. Again, a first gear bend. Griffin on the outside, the quickest line, but where Michael Cullen is, I don't think Griffin can do anything about it.
This old park, Phoenix Park Circuit, has been rather unkindly described as a sort of point and squirt place. You've really got three hairpins, but as you can see, it requires a lot of skill because cars really don't have a lot of room. They certainly don't have a lot of grip, and particularly as you're heading towards a corner like the Furry Glen, which we're about to come to, you'll see that braking is very, very difficult indeed.
Yes, and we're on that back straight heading towards the Furry Glen. This is the longest straight on the circuit, so the braking a little bit earlier because you're going quicker. As you come in here, some of these drivers might be using the handbrake just to get the back of the car just slightly slung around, but look at young Dave Maguire there moving up on Steve Griffin in second place. Barable coming in there to that hairpin. You can see Leonard now coming through, and he's really gained ground, O'Connell in the hairpin. Michael really using the last of the brakes as he comes down there, and a brave manoeuvre because there's not much runoff area. They're heading their way up to just a slight kink, and who's that pulling off? It is Morgan Dempsey Sr., who's taken over his daughter's car just for this race as the leaders fly by, back out onto the Dublin straight again as Griffin from Maguire as they head for Dublin corner.
And indeed, an awful lot of attrition here at Phoenix Park. It's very rough on transmissions. As you can see, the banging they get off the curves and over the bumps. But moving ahead to lap 7, and you can see it's all about the first two. Michael Cullen in the DC exhaust car, and there is Stephen Griffin in the Dagonite Batteries car in second place. And what a weekend it has been for David Maguire there in third place, who's already won 2 races this weekend.
David Hammond there just making up this next bunch, and they're really pushing each other around, and you can see that if you come in that little bit late to any of the corners, the cars tend to understeer, and with the camber falling away, you're going to end up on the grass.
Heading back down towards Furry Glen again. It looks wider in this camera than it really is. And here comes Cullen. He's got a couple of car lengths now over Steve Griffin, both highly experienced. And Cullen locking up there, Griffin, giving him a little tap in the back just to remind him that he was there. Still in third place, David Maguire, an excellent drive by him.
And that might wake Michael Cullen up. In fairness, he did lock a wheel, and Griffin presumed he would have gone on a little quicker, but they've settled back down. And I think Dave Maguire should have capitalised a little more on that incident. But look at this, Hammond now really coming through the street. Now it's just a little kink there. It looks like a straight, but it's a little slight left-hander as you come through, and then come straight out onto that main straight again. As I said, the quickest corner on the circuit.
So the first two in a slight breakaway movement at the moment as they go up this wide main straight. The start finish is just about there. They head down another lap, and this is where all the tactics are required, down into Dublin corner. Steve Griffin tries to come on a very late line, a very wide line, in the hope of getting quickly out of the corner, but Michael Cullen's too wise for that. He puts on a little brake quite legitimately, and it really means that Stephen doesn't have that run out of the corner.
And the next bunch led there by David Hammond, and then it's Patrick Dunn really on his tail, bumping there away. We're going through again. It's O'Connell then followed by Eugene Healy, who's beginning to move up the field. These really bunched up together, and that battle is for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th.
Here's the battle for first. No change down at Furry Glen, not just quite as close as the last time. I would imagine Michael Cullen will be glad of that. Still there in third place, David Maguire, who's come from karting. He's really one of the finds of the year. David Hammond, number 8, he's been in Fiat's for a long time. Behind him, number 39, that's Patrick Dunn. And then the whole gaggle, there we have number 5, Noel McIntyre, another new name from Mullingar.
Back out again onto this main Dublin road, and it's superb to see the Phoenix Park back in operation again after a year layoff. They're heading down. This is the shortest straight on the circuit, so again you have to judge your braking really good. And again, Griffin looking at that outside line, hoping possibly that Michael might just overshoot slightly, could nip across the back, but no, Cullen too wise for that manoeuvre. Actually, I think lifted off slightly in the corner there just so that he couldn't get around the back. But these four have now pulled away from the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th race battle, which is on now.
And almost side by side as they come through double at that time. Eugene Heary at the back there finding no gap. And this is Michael Leonard. He's very wide. He's off the circuit. He's heading for the hoarding. How did he miss it? But that's what can happen at the Phoenix Park.
It's all down to the camera of the road coming in there side by side as they come down to Furry Glen. Unfortunately, Griffin on the wrong side. Cullen keeps that inside line really tight, and Griffin is pushing him all the way to Dublin Corner for the last time. Can he do anything about Michael Cullen? Will it be another win for Michael Cullen, or can Griffin get one second one this year?
Meanwhile, the war is back in 5th place. Number 5, McIntyre, being pushed onto the grass there. Really having no Eugene Heary trying to find a way round. And this is what the Ferry Glen looks like from the bumper cam.
Yes, sitting out there on the bumper of Michael Leonard's car as they head down from the Furry Glen. Last time for Cullen and Griffin. Griffin very close on his tail as they make for the checkered flag. The starter and finisher waiting just to see who it is. You can see Cullen trying to break the toe so that Griffin won't get the advantage, and it's Cullen by a car length.
So Michael Cullen takes the Evening Press Trophy in his home city and also has the satisfaction of knowing that he's already won the first Dunlop Fiat Uno Cup. Coming shortly in RPM, stone throwing in Tipperary, where the new National Rally Champion is crowned, and hill climbing on the north coast on the Eagles Rock weekend. Keep the revs up.